Oh shit. Everybody ate Chris. God damn, this was a big loss. For me, this was a big loss. I almost cried on this shit. Anyway, that little damn, whoops, I'm fucking up. Anyway, Father Gabriel lost it, and it looked like he was taking it out on God. You see him going through the book, ripping pages out and whatnot. He's having some internal conflict. And you already know I don't like the bastard. Anyway, Chris wants to be of some use, and he calls a meeting with the architect. So he walks up to the guy. He's like, "Yo, Cyrus, baby bro." He an architect and shit, that type of thing. And he calls a meeting, and it looks like he wants to do something for the team. He wants to actually work and have some kind of skill that could be necessary or useful to the group as they travel. God damn. As they travel. Sorry about that. So they had that meeting and everything else like that. And you're thinking, damn, Chris is actually going to be a valuable member. He's already a decent member of the team. He does add to the team, but he never really added anything special to the team yet. But he was a good fit. And then once you seen him getting ready to take on the architect and shit, you thought that he was going to really be a real valuable member of the team. Anyway, Eugene's got to go on a field trip, which he didn't want to go on because he knew that he might have to throw his hands at some point. The hands must fly, or some bullets must fly, or something. And he's not really a confrontational guy. Anyway, and that punk, the punk that we seen, he really is the boss's son. The one that Glenn almost knocked out. He punched him and almost, scared him half to death. That dude, he's the boss's son. He's a real piece of fucking filth. Anyway, Rick, he drops in and on his little hoe. And the girl said that some of her sculptures were broken, or the owl or whatever was broken, whatever. They had a little talk, and this was some kind of foreshadowing they had, because he said that whoever broke that owl, we had to find them and punish them. Well, what ways do you punish someone nowadays? That's what brings up the foreshadowing. Which way? How do you punish someone? Jail? You don't really have a jail, so they would have to create one or something like that. That would be the only one, that or death. You're not going to sit around and just start torturing people. Well, not this group, but some other group might do that. Anyway, the Field Trick Club, right? They get to work, and they're smarter than I actually thought. They listen to the experts. The two punks, the boss's son and his little cohort, they actually listen to Glenn. Glenn is like, yo, and that shows why Glenn is a G. Let's keep it real and honest. Throughout the series, as we've seen Rick do his thing, Rick is the real leader. Then you had Daryl at for a time when we're talking about at the prison. He would be next to lead. Then after that, Glenn. And and Glenn even said it back then. He said, "I'm next to lead," and he was right. And he was fucking up at the time, but he is the next best to lead at that point. At this point, we have Sasha, but I don't really see her as the leader type. She does have abilities, but leader, not so sure. I think at this point in time, yeah, it would be still Glenn would be number 3. Take away Daryl, and he really showed it in this. Walked in, he went through the plans. He said, let's come up with a contingency before we walk in and get our asses eaten, before we get our salad tossed. And when we get our salad tossed by walkers, we're not going to enjoy it, that type of thing. He says, let's get a plan together. Also, when they went in, he followed procedures. He says he called out, bang on the wall, whatever, made some noise, see if some walkers came out. No walkers appeared. He said they must be behind something. He's already picking up on that. And they said, how do you know that? He said, I don't. He said, but I do know that if they are here and they heard that and they didn't come, they're trapped somewhere. So let's be careful about this. So the guys actually listened, and that to me, I was like, okay, maybe these people could be mature enough to actually join the group, or for them to actually be satisfied with the group that they're joining. Anyway, the punk messed around and he shot a damn grenade walker. He didn't know that the dude had a grenade on him, but he was just shooting. Now you see the thing has a helmet on. Get the helmet off. It's only one solitary walker, and he was a little bit too careless. Now, it wasn't so bad because how would he have known that he had a grenade on? He's just shooting. He's not really. Sometimes you won't see that, but you could have been a little bit more careful and seen that this thing has armor, and actually just walk up to it, knock it down or whatever, and just stab it in the head, just like they did the walkers at the prison. The ones that had the full body, they were like boss walkers. It was like a boss battle. He shoots the grenade, blows everything to shit. That part was crazy. Anyway, we cut to Carol, and that little boy wasn't intimidated by Carol at all. It was crazy. After that little talk that he had with her, I would have thought that he would be pissing himself right now, but he's not. That's a little foreshadowing, a little hint as to what's going on in the that environment. Anyway, back to the field trip, boys. They try to save the punk. That he's lodged, he's like impaled on this thing, and it was too hard to get him off. Now, to be honest, what they should have done was cut the sticks, leave them in, and cut them from the back to get just enough to get him off. Just cut the back. I don't know how they would have cut it. They should have had some equipment, just for that type of thing, for cutting things. Should have been a wire cutter. I mean, what's it called? Bulk cutter, whatever, some shit like that. They should keep that something like that handy just for situations like that. They fought hard to get it off, and it wasn't working. That shit was crazy. Anyway, Abraham, he's working with the wall crew, and he's the only one to have the balls enough to save homegirl. She's up at the top, keeping an eye on walkers, playing a very important role. One of the guys, they start firing off shots because walkers are coming. One of the guys doesn't know how to shoot or something. He's spraying every fucking thing and shoots the damn cable, the hydraulic fluid cable on the plow. The girl falls off, twists the shit out of her ankle, and they said, "Let's go, leave the bitch." And then the guy says, "Are you sure you want to leave her?" He says, "She ain't my hoe. Leave her." Just like that. It was just that easy. Abraham said, "Get your asses over here and help me," right? They didn't pay attention. He walks over there, does whatever he could to save the girl. See, at this point in time, we're in an apocalypse. Of course, you want to save yourself. But if we're not helping each other out, it's going to make it harder for the group, and in turn make it harder for you in the end. You might have to risk your life now, but if you risk your life now, you'll have someone risking their life for you later on. People fail to realize that. They're just trying to save their own skin. That's it. That's all they care about. Anyway, Abraham, he is at home on the battlefield. Did you see him shoot the walkers, came up from underneath the truck, shooting the other walkers, and then grabs the stick and just starts taking their heads off, but the whole time he's smiling. Now, you've seen him before when he was on the truck. He was having some kind of weird breakdown or something like that. To me, it seemed like he wanted to get back on, to killing things. And of course, it looks like he was. He was smiling. He was like, hey, buddy, what's up? That's what he would say. Hey, what's going on? Haven't seen you since Friday. You know, it's Friday, that type of shit. That's what was going on with him. So he seemed like the type to like a confrontation. That's his thing. Anyway, he took care of that situation. The other guys that were there, they seen that he was winning, so they said, you know what? Let's go ahead and help. Now that we know that it's not too big of an issue, because they already took care of most of the work. At that point, he said, fuck it, I'm taking over. He said, y'all fucked up. Now I'm going to show y'all how to do this right way. He said, we get 2 lookouts. You over here, you over here. That would give us enough time where if any walkers come in, we have plenty of time to take care of it. We had to take care of this wall thing fast. So we need to get this equipment, but we have to be safe about it at the same time. We have 3 more hours. Let's take those hours, but be more careful about it and not leave people behind. Now, the guy says, but it's protocol. That's what the protocol is. They said if somebody could get killed, just leave them for dead. That's not a real good protocol. I could understand if the walkers had the girl like, that type of thing. Like they holding on to her by the throat or something like that. And you leave her. That's different. She's pretty much a goner. But when the person's right there, do what you can. Try not to get yourself killed, but do what you can. He says that's protocol. Abraham says fuck protocol. He says, what do you think about the code? I think her name was Francesca. She fine as hell too. She is a nice looking girl. She says yeah, fuck the protocol. I almost got killed out there. She didn't think about the protocol because now she's on the other end. She says fuck protocol. She said protocol almost got me killed. You almost had to pour out a little liquor for protocol. So that's what the type of deal. When you're on the shit end of the deal, your whole perspective changed. Fuck the protocol. Anyway, Rick gets confronted by his girl's husband, and you see him going for his ring. The guy's talking to him weird as hell, and you find out that he's an alcoholic. He comes in. He said, "You was talking to my wife, huh? You was talking to that type of thing." He just seemed weird. This was just one weird motherfucker. Now it's starting to make sense. He's a damn drunk. That's what it turns out. But he's also a doctor. So even if he's a drunk, do we still need him? Maybe so. Probably do. Not as much though within those walls. Why? People aren't getting fucked up as much, that type of thing. Like he's talking about bringing people in for a checkup. That's what they're doing now. That's what the checkups. We need doctors for people, with their heads decapitated and shit like that. But at this point in time, they've been so safe, relatively safe within those walls. They're getting checkups. So maybe they don't need the doctor as much for now. But at some point in time, you're gonna need somebody that can, do something. And at the end of the altercation, wasn't really an altercation, the words that was exchanged. Rick is getting ready, look like he's ready to take his ring off. Like, I got to get rid of my old wife, and I think I know where I can find a new one. He wish he had Jesse's girl. That's what it was. And I think the dude name is Jesse. No, I'm just joking. I know his name's Pete. Pete the geek. Anyway, he wish he had Jesse's girl and he can take the hoe from him. Anyway, we cut back to the field trip group, and Eugene manned up. He picked Tara up. He says, fuck it, I got some work I got to do. And if you watch Talking Taylor Dead later on, he brought up a good point. He said, yeah, Tara was like the closest one to him. He actually liked the girl from the beginning, but even beyond that, after she revealed that she only, carpet munches, he still developed a friendship for her. She looked out for him when nobody else did and stuff of that nature. He kind of messed up, like he said, messed up the friend, his friendship with Abraham and Rosita. Although I don't think their friendship is just completely dead or anything like that, but it's kind of off kilter. Let's just say that it's not as balanced as it was before. So Tara was pretty close to Eugene. So Eugene says, "I got to man up someday. What better day than now?" And he came out firing like a G. Just, that's how he came out. That type of thing. He was pretty decent to just start off with. And he saved her, man. That Eugene is coming up. One thing I gotta say about Eugene is everybody said he need to man up. He need to grow up here. How come he should do this? How come he's not hardcore? Don't get me wrong. He's not hardcore, but he had other values that compensated for that. And he even brought it up in the show. He says, if it wasn't for me, you guys wouldn't have made it to DC. He's right about that. He's the smartest one out the group. He does have certain skills. One of the skills was this. He was telling them to get the equipment so they can get electricity. So behind him, they were going to have electricity. He didn't need to be hardcore. Well, within the group, if the group manages it right, he wouldn't need to be hardcore. But he winds up manning up, and he is hardcore, which is good too. But I'm just saying they didn't need to do it. He had values that he didn't, that could have been used within the group that would be valuable, and he could have did that. He didn't necessarily have to be a badass like everybody else. He didn't necessarily have to. And we see Chris putting in work too. Chris, when he first came in, he could take walkers, but he was like, he didn't have his sea legs. He didn't. He was kind of awkward with it. He had trouble. He could take them out one by one, but at this point in time, when we see him in this episode, he's on the money. So it was like, yeah, he's going to be an architect. He's going to build a new city for these guys. Also, he's hardcore now. He can keep up with anybody now. Well, not anybody, but you know what I mean. He can't keep up with Michonne, Daryl, or Rick, or Carol, but he can keep up with the rest of the group or Glenn. Those are pretty much the top people in that group. But he can keep up with any of the. He's on par with any of the other guys. Anyway, that was good. So Carol is one grumpy ass old lady. I mean, she is one grumpy ass old lady, and she finds out that she's dealing with Dennis the Menace. He's not intimidated by her at all. She's treating this kid like a dog or something like that. She's pushing him around and talking to him, very sternly and things of that nature. In a very, well, I'm not gonna say very, in a pretty hostile manner. And he just talked to her like it's normal. And he says, "I didn't tell," and then he says that he needs a gun. What does he need a gun for? And he says protection. And she says protection? Protection from who? And he told her that he had to walk Smokey down to his house. And Carol's like, "I would have never moved into this neighborhood if we had known you need a gun to walk down the damn street." But anyway, to be serious, she asked him why he needed a gun, and he asked her why she needed a gun. So they're asking each other questions, filling each other out. Carol opened up a little bit. Then she finds out that, or it appears that Pete is beating this kid. He's being abused by this kid. He says that he breaks stuff when he gets mad. And recently we found out that owl sculpture was broken. Did you break it? Looked like Pete is the one beating on him, and then he got mad and broke the owl statue or something like that. I bet you when they pull up his shirt, they're gonna see all kind of bruises on him or something like that. So not Pete. Carol has to talk with Rick, and she says we got to kill him. So that's Rick's dream come true. Like, now I got a valid reason for killing this guy. That's what they're setting up. But how come they jump to killing the guy so quick instead of we have to, lock this guy up or something of that nature or anything like that? They just said we need to kill him. That's how they get down at this point in time. There's no in between. There's no let's talk to the guy. There's no let's reason with him. Just kill the no good son of a bitch. Kill him dead. It's just that type of deal. Anyway, what you call him? What's his name? Eugene. He is still in rare form, and he came through. Chris, Glenn, and the punk number 2. After he left the other guy for dead, and the dude got torn to bits. I mean, I'm telling you, the dude got torn to bits. What you call him? Damn, he left his friend. He left his ass, and they revealed that they left the other 4 guys or something like that for dead or something like that. And they were punks and they couldn't man up, so they left him for dead. So he left his friend for dead. So Glenn and Chris was forced to leave, and the Walkers had a banquet with his ass. They had a banquet in there. I mean, this was a thorough meal. And anyway, as they're running, they get trapped inside a revolving door. And the way they're trapped, you have Walkers on both sides with the inequity of men. Well, anyway, it's Walkers on both sides. Then you have Punk number 2 on one side, Glenn and Noah on the other side. Either one goes out, the other one is introduced to Walkers. Or either one goes out, anyone goes out, both of them are introduced to Walkers. But anyway, Eugene is still in rare form. He comes by with the truck, saves their asses. He gets the Walkers from the front of the door to follow him. That way he opened up a path for them. Anyway, Glenn tells Punk number 2, hold the door as much as you can. I'm going to break this glass. Now, you got to hold it hard because what's going to happen is, as I'm pushing this, it's going to open your side a little bit. But just hold it as much as you can. He could have put his foot there. I would have held the bar, put my foot there, and, it creates that friction, and then go ahead and break the thing. He didn't want to listen. He tried it once. Glenn was breaking the door, and it moved a little bit, and you seen a Walker arm coming or something like that, and he got scared. He says, I'm leaving these cats for dead again. Now, he already did it once with the other guys. Then he did it with his friend. Now he's doing it with Glenn and Chris. Anyway, he busts through the thing, and that opened up Chris's side. And oh my fucking God. Number 2 got Chris murdered, and it was the most brutal death in Walking Dead. And I'm not saying that just because I like Chris. It was just brutal. I mean, absolutely brutal. This thing was crazy. He got his face torn off. Now, we've seen this happen with other people. Don't get it twisted. We've seen it happen with other people, but we never seen it like this. Why? They also brought up the point that in the Talking Dead, Glenn never seen this. So this had a big effect on Glenn. Glenn never seen somebody get killed on his watch. Although that doesn't mean that he was like the perfect dude or whatever, but he didn't have so many missions anyway. But he was pretty thorough on his missions. Anyway, they had somebody abandon them, leave him for dead, that caused Chris to be snatched up. So that's the messed up thing in the first place. He was just getting into the group and coming into his own, and like they said, he had so much potential, and people liked him. He was a likable dude and a likable character, and everybody loved Chris. He was like Raymond. Everybody loves Raymond. Everybody loves Chris. He got snatched up. And it wasn't like they just got rid of him. They threw him to the glass, and he's sitting there like, and they tore him to shreds. But they didn't like normally tear him to shreds. I mean, little bits by bits. I mean, bits by bits. You seen the other guy, Punk number 1, get tore up. What was his name? Aiden. I think his name Aiden or something like that. He got tore up, but it wasn't as gruesome. It was like wham, wham, wham. That was it. But wham, it was more like that. It was more like pieces got torn off of him, and that was it. He yelled and whatever. That was it. With Chris, his face is right up against the glass. Glenn is watching. They just got, a turncoat just got Chris killed. Pieces torn off. His face torn off while you're looking at it. This torn off, everything disfigured. I mean, and it's happening in slow motion. It wasn't a quick thing. It wasn't boom, 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 boom. It was little snips here and there. This was just brutal, and I was mad. We're down to one black guy again, and really we haven't had many black guys in there in general, but it was one or two. And usually what happens is somebody sat there and said that if a black guy dies, they bring another one to replace him. No, that's not it. What happens is they bring in another black guy, then gets rid of the old one. Completely different. Anyway, except for now, they did that maybe once, but they got rid of Chris. I was like, man, get rid of fucking Gabriel. I knew it was coming. They're not gonna keep a black guy on there that long. One dude said, yeah, but it wasn't that many Asians on there either. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to turn this whole thing into this, this rant and anything like that, because really it's just a show. They only had one Asian on there, Glenn, but Glenn's been holding on like a motherfucker. And Glenn's one of the top guys in this show. Glenn is doing pretty good. To be honest, even though it's only one, he's holding on. He's holding it down for everybody. Man, we can't get one dude in there to hold it down for nothing. We got Tyrese is a punk. The dude from the prison was only in it for a split second. Chris was only in it for a split second, but dude from the prison was all right, but he wasn't no big deal. Fuck him. Morgan went psycho. He was good from the beginning, but he went psycho. The only two real good guys that we wanted there was Bob and Chris. Bob is gone. Chris is gone. Damn. And all we got left is Gabriel. And really, I want Gabriel dead. We need to go down to, segregation. Not playing, but elimination, extermination. Just get rid of Gabriel too. Fuck it. Just, get rid of all of them until we find somebody. Maybe Morgan come back. Maybe Freeman to come back. Freeman to come back and save us a little bit. Anyway, that was the most brutal death on there. The punk tried to leave everybody again. He called up to Eugene, tried to take Eugene out the truck, take the truck and leave them for dead. Now that's crazy. I understand somebody trying to save their own ass, but you leave 10 people for dead for one person? No, it doesn't get down like that. No, we don't get down like that. You don't get somebody back like that. Anyway, Eugene tried to handle his business. So I was like, yeah, Eugene, but it didn't work. Glenn caught up to this punk motherfucker, took him, knocked him out. They threw him in the truck, and now they're heading back. And Eugene's holding him down like with the gun. Like, wait, was it Eugene? It was either Eugene or Glenn. Any one of them is holding him down with the gun. And they make it back to the place. Well, in the previews for the next episode, we pretty much know they made it back to the place, and that's pretty much it. Anyway, hubby is hiding something, and Carol's on to his ass. She goes to find out. We're pretty much sure he's an abusive husband, and that's why his girlfriend really wants Rick. She's like, you know what? I think I'll take somebody that's not beating the crap out of me or something, who's not always drunk or something. It seems like that's what's going on. And now they had a little. That's when they had the little talk about killing the dude. Anyway, Gabriel's soft ass ratted on the group. He said that they were evil, which I think he's talking about when they killed the Terminus guys. Remember, he didn't know that. I don't think he knew that they were the ones eating them or something like that. He didn't go to Terminus, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, he sees some of the things that the Rick's group did, and he said these guys are evil. and he wants to be in paradise or something like that. He was scared of the group. The group saved his life on numerous occasions, but I think he still thought that they were dangerous. That at some point, things would come to a head. I thought that he overheard what Rick and Carol and Daryl's conversation, but he didn't, because otherwise he would have revealed that he did hear it, but he didn't. That would have been big if he would have said, yo, they talked about taking over, but he didn't. So he just never trusted the group. So he was never down for the group anyway. Gabriel was never down for the group. Everybody said, fuck it. If they would have killed one, kill Gabriel. Chris was down for the group. Why they kill him? Man, damn, they ain't had to kill him. Why? Why? My mother's sick. The car broke down in the middle of the street. I needed fresh drawers. Anyway, that was pretty much it. And now we realize that it's pretty much takeover time. Maggie, to sum things up, Maggie had a conversation with the mayor, and she's talking about how proficient they are and how they know what they're doing, and that's why they should be put in leadership roles. Abraham got a leadership role because he already proved himself, and also we see that he's not satisfied with their capabilities or their protocols either. So we see his situation with that. Glenn gets a taste of it too. The dude with the thing that he pulled, obviously Glenn doesn't want to be down with that type of nonsense. Remember what they said, they're not strong enough. Glenn sees they're not strong enough now. He got 2 people killed. Well, technically the first punk kind of got himself killed, but also he could have saved him, but he could have still been killed even if he didn't help. But that's neither here nor there. But he's somewhat sort of got 2 people killed. We know he got Chris killed, but the first punk, he probably got killed too. But he was getting ready to get all these other people killed. Also, they're starting to see that this town is not as cotton candy as they thought it was. So now it's takeover time. It really is. And we see that, the mayor is, is on to Rick and his group. So it's going to be takeover time. This episode 5 out of 5. At first, it starts off a little slow, but it picks up. We get the best death. I mean, that death was like, man, you know, that death was just, it struck a chord with everybody. That was crazy. It was the most gruesome one, on top of that. Also, the group is getting ready to cut to a head. We see the development with that. Things about to start falling in place. We already see that coming. The kid, we see why he wasn't scared of Carol. He's already getting beat up at home. Carol's not going to do anything that he's scared of because he's already going through it at his home. That's what it looks like. So that's what that is. And I started feeling sorry for the kid and Carol on that, at the same time. It was weird, that whole situation. Okay, when one black guy dies, no. When they bring in another black guy, then another black guy dies. Morgan is coming. I think Freeman is probably coming. It looked like he was on his way. Why they show him if he wasn't going to be introduced to the group anyway? Everybody ate Chris. Yup, damn right. It says, LOL, that racist bud. I think he's talking about 200 or whatever. I guess. Damn, that was horrible. Yes, it was. It was horrible to watch. I could barely keep my eyes open. I kept my eyes open, but it was just crazy. And I was so mad because Chris had such potential and we loved him. Okay, at what point when getting eaten alive did someone die? That shit looks fucked up. I know it was for it was like in slow motion, wasn't it? These guys need to shoot. These guys need to shoot people that's getting eaten up. No, because you're gonna waste shells. It's not gonna be too long. I mean, how long you think they're gonna survive getting eaten up? A minute? Okay, they fucked Ty in the ass when he was a badass in the comics. Yup. He talking about Tyrese. Okay, was that your sis? What are you talking about? I don't know what he's talking about. Okay, Stu going. Okay, I don't know. You the Nightcrawler of YouTube, always trying to get. I don't know what they're talking about. They having their own little conversation. The takeover's coming up. Okay, Tyrese killed 50 walkers in the comics without one bite. In the show, he died by one bite. No, he did it in the show too. Remember at the calling? But that was so weak compared to what he did before. Okay, you seen the Nightcrawler movie? I didn't watch it, but I know what you're talking about. Down to one black guy. NWA is coming. Yep. Okay. Okay, the racist writing, acting like Morgan would be a badass when we all know he's going to be crying the first time he gets back. I don't know where that comes. I don't know who he referring to racist, or I don't know what he's talking about. I'm not even going to answer that because I don't know exactly what he's talking about. He'll cry when he's done killing. I have no clue what he's talking about. You're right, 200. But I don't know why this shows the U.S. is 13. The ratio on the show is a lot more than that. He said the ratio on the show is a lot more than that. No, it's not. No, it's not. He said the ratio, he says 13% black people in America, and the ratio for the show is a lot more than that. No, it's not. No, it's not. Not only that, you got to also take into account that the group was near Atlanta when it started off. There's a high ratio of black people in Atlanta, and then they would buy DC. You know what DC is called? DC is called Chocolate City because there's so many black people lived in DC or lives in DC. So if that's the case, how come it's not more within that? It should be a higher percentage within those groups, but it's not a higher percentage in those groups. The percentage of black people in what you call them in The Walking Dead is not 13%. You seen it was Noah and Gabriel. How many people is in there now? 13%. Remember, it's 13%. That means that it should be less than 20 people. Is it more than 20 people on the set right now? If it's more than 20 people in that town, if we see more than 20 people in that town, or if we seen 20 people, then it's less than 13%. Trust me, it's less than 13%. And yeah, it is only 13% in this country. There's no such thing as black on black crime for the guy who just said that. Crime is just crime. Why pick black people to be on the show to kill them without art? Easy. I don't know what he's talking. Okay, we're not going to get into that. Black women are doing fine. No, they're not. It's only Sasha and that one chick, right? Oh, and Michonne. Oh, Michonne holding on fine. So we're just gonna leave that at Michonne's doing fine. Oh yeah, Sasha ain't doing that fine. No, she's not. She's getting jacked up. Sasha's doing good. Wait till next week. She going Oh yeah, you see the sniping the dude? Oh man, Sasha about to step up. Shoot. So we still got Sasha and Michonne, so we good. Oh, I'm not. What am I thinking? We are at higher than 13%. I'm only thinking about Gabriel and Noah. My bad. I forgot about Sasha and Michonne. Dude's right. I messed up. But we ain't. But like I said, it still should be higher than that because they right next to DC. Shoot. But like I said, it's still not that high. It's still not 13% overall. Okay, I don't want to hear that stuff. Sasha will be dead soon. Oh, no, don't say that. Okay, what is your delightful opinion? Negroes from the fourth dimension in the north direction of the Milky Way galaxy. I don't have no clue what you're talking about. Tyrese kind of had arc. Tyrese did have an arc, and it was stupid. They turned what's my man? T-Dog into a damn butler. He didn't have no lines. He had nothing. Okay. Also, me, if you wouldn't mind, what's your opinion on Russian twerking vids? Hey, it's cool. Anybody can make twerking vids if they want to. I ain't got a problem with it. They seemed like they were doing a decent enough job. It was all right. I seen one or two of them. No big deal. I don't get what my opinion would be. I mean, what do you want me to say? What would you expect me to say? Oh, they shouldn't be doing it, or they don't have the right technique or they got the wrong music. I don't know. Russians twerking. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay. Okay. Well, at least Walking Dead has the. Okay, one dude says this. Well, at least Walking Dead has a black person or two. Empire have any whites? Yeah, they do. I don't watch Empire, but the episode I'd seen, like all the people with the money, like the bankers that, or was it bankers? I mean, the investors that they wanted to invest in the company and whatnot. They were, but Empire is a mostly black show. But if you take it and compare it to other shows in America, how many I mean, most of the shows you see is mostly white. So you got one black show and that's the problem. You know, it's really not a big deal. I don't see why he's fighting so hard for, they got this one show. It's not that big a deal. Black people aren't seeing, like, you seen what happened with Denzel. The conversation got out with the Sony leak and whatnot that they didn't want Denzel doing movies and stuff like that. So there's plenty of black people being blackballed already in all these other shows and all these other movies. So what happens is a lot of black, producers and whatnot, they try to make up for that by making Tyler Perry, by doing all black cast and whatnot, just to give them a chance when other people won't. That's all that is. That's what that's about. It's to level the playing field. Okay, Tyrese was so bad in the comic. Yeah, he was a badass in the comics. I love Tara and that blind wife. They are the hottest girls on the show. I don't know about Tara. Tara's not bad, but I don't know if she's like all that hot. She's not bad looking. The blind wife. Yeah, the blind wife, she's pretty hot. Do you think the season finale would be the end of Alexandria's safe zone? Probably. Maybe. It's not going to be safe because, Rick and what you call them, they're going to have a war. But outside of that, I don't know. Okay, let me see. This whole thing in the comments section is just crazy. This dude said blacks have a network and a month to celebrate. You realize you just said something real entirely stupid. Black folks, they have 1 month to celebrate. They better hurry up and get that, all they're celebrating in within 1 month. Why is Black history relegated to 1 month? Why can't it be every month? You know what I'm saying? Because history is history. Anybody that's involved in history should be involved. That's what the whole point is. Like, we're going to relegate it to a month. Come on now. Okay, you know what? You know that this comment section is just crazy. It's just ridiculous. Building. Okay, he said the whole building and learning how to build things. I was like, oh shit, you're dead. Pretty much. He says, I'm going to make myself useful. Okay, he must be dead. He's trying to make himself useful. It's no hope. Okay, okay, they having an argument in the comment section, so I'm going to try to avoid that. Carol is a bitch. She want him to kill the husband because he used to get beat up too. Conflict of interest. She used to get beat up too. Yes, I mean, she turned into a killer. So hey, I understand it. I don't think it's a good thing, but I understand it. Okay. Looking for some comments that I can actually comment on. Okay. What the heck? Why you hate me? I was so shocked. Yeah, I was shocked. Okay. What does that mean? These people are having a conversation in the comment section that had nothing to do with the show. Gabriel was a punk. Yeah, Gabriel was a bitch. Yeah, he is. Gabriel, he needs to die quick. No, he needs to die quick, but slowly. Yo, you do. Last thing I think about there before going to sleep is the fact that you hate me. I don't see what's all this. They having a conversation that I really don't want to get into down here. Okay, let's see. Okay, that's pretty much it. Oh, wait. Rick got his eye on that blind chick. Sasha will die in the next. She better not. That's my little wife right there, man. But I will say that I seen her in this interview or something like that, and she was pregnant. So if she was pregnant, like how is that going? I think what they probably did is either this. Um, they already did all the episodes up until the season finale. And between the final episode she did and all the way up to when they start the next season is when she's going to have the child. So that's probably what's going on or something like that. That's what I think happened. Because I seen her in the interview or whatever, she was pregnant. But I hope she doesn't die. That's my baby right there. Anyway, go ahead and leave your comments, like the video, and subscribe because I can't eat. I'm broke, nigga. I'm broken. You got the power to change that. Peace.